Hey everybody, Jay here. Time for NPC of the week once again. I try to do this every Tuesday. It's powered by Better Backstories, for those who don't know, which I created. This is a card-based creativity tool for role players and writers and songwriters and anything. Use these cards kind of like tarot cards to generate random backstories for fictional characters, which you can use in any setting at all. You can go to the website, www.betterbackstories.com, to find out more. But in the meantime, NPC of the Week is a little something that I've been doing for a few months now. I take a character or characters that I've created and then had illustrated by my wonderful artist, Blas Barros. Check him out on DeviantArt, Instagram, and Twitch. And I create, maybe I already had a backstory, or we just had an interesting visual concept, and then we create a backstory. Well, in this case, we started with the visual first. Our idea was to do Roger Rabbit and Jesseeka Rabbit as D&D characters. And based off of one of the cartoons that followed Roger Rabbit, where Jesseeka was featured as a park ranger. So I wanted to see Jesseeka as a ranger. And Blas Barros suggested that Roger could be a bard from the College of Satire, which I think is perfect. Of course, Roger is going to be a halfling instead of a rabbit, and he drew them up, and I will show them to you now. We go to our screen. So there we have Jesseeka the Ranger and Roger the Bard. But to be distinct, those aren't their names. This is Jesseeka. Her last name is Leverett, and that is Rahjeet Luckfoot. And they are married. We've got I've worked that into their backstory. And I've already worked up Jessica's full backstory. I have a rough backstory for Rahjeet, and I thought I would continue with his backstory to show you guys how I develop it. So let's switch over to his character sheet. So these character sheets are from More Purple, More Better, who has a Patreon. These are completely fillable. You know, you click on the items and they do all the math for you, and they are all of the current D&D material, as well as stuff from Unearthed Arcana. And you can pick and choose exactly what materials you want to use, so that nothing interferes with the other. So we see here that he's a bard, and that he has selected the College of Satire. He's originally a folk hero. I decided he would come from a small town, and he kind of like worked his way up to the big leagues. He's a Lightfoot halfling, which means he's very short and quick on his feet, which I think also works with the concept. Here we see his abilities and his skill modifiers. Of course, we put in some acrobatics, and he's got expertise. We gave him performance with expertise, but also a little bit of investigation, a little bit of animal handling, some persuasion, some sleight of hand for trickery, a little bit of survival, and of course thieves' tools, just for breaking and entering purposes. Not a lot on weapons. He's just got two daggers, and he uses his lute or his banjo as a club. So the College of Satire, not much to say about it. He can cast spells, and of course he's got his bardic inspiration, and he's jack of all trades. His main thing is that he has a tumbling fool, which means as a bonus action he tumbles out of the way, which acts as both a dash and a disengage action at the same time. Also, his climbing speed is a little bit improved. So here we see that I have not done his personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws yet, and I'll get to that in a minute. So go down to, this is what I have for his backstory so far. There's Rahjeet by himself in the character sheet. He's 96, so he's been around for a little while. He's 3'9". He's got red hair, blue eyes, and light pink skin. So this is just what I originally came up with when I drew the cards. Rahjeet was the son of a popular cleric who was known for her sense of humor. That card came from the devotion card. His father, however, was considered a foppish fool, but in truth he was secretly an assassin for the king. That came from the alter ego card. He was raised in a small village, and Rahjeet learned to entertain from his parents. However, on a vacation they were taking to the beach, wild animals attacked, which also came from the cards. I think that was the either the loss or the cataclysm card. Attacked his father sprung into action to defend his family. So this revealed that his father was not just a half-wit, but in fact capable of fighting and defending himself. His secret revealed, they moved to the city and all became kind of a family troupe and began to entertain at court. This is where Rahjeet met Jesseeka. He also gained the favor of the king's attendant. This is the person who takes care of the king's personal schedule and setting up meetings and stuff like that. And he became well known for his tumbling, his singing, and his very, very bad puns. When he heard Jesseeka had been kidnapped, he also stepped up, proved his bravery by teaming up with a city guard who had seen the noble dragging Jesseeka to his ship. Together they snuck aboard and then rescued Jesseeka and then had to fight their way out. And just as they escaped, the king and his attendant arrived, to which they dismissed the noble and all of his people, banishing them from the land for this indiscretion. Rahjeet and Jesseeka were married, and he vowed never to leave her side, as she set out to become a protector of a forest where she'd grown up but had been ruined by a fire years before. And that is how they became our little power couple. So this is not very full. I mean, we could do a little bit better. So I'm going to try and expand on this. I'm going to switch over to Jesseeka's character sheet for a bit. She is a ranger, but she's the Fey Wanderer subclass. She did work as a singer and an entertainer. That was her background, and she is human. So she's got her longbow, she's got a light hammer, because in the movie she pulled a hammer out, and then of course her short sword. Another benefit of her particular class is that she has instead of having a favored enemy, which gives her benefits on certain enemies, she can cast Hunter's Mark, and it doesn't count against the number of spells that she knows. She can cast the number of times without using a spell slot or even requiring concentration. She can use it using a spell slot, but then it does require concentration. And she can cast it her wisdom modifier number of times per long rest. Her wisdom modifier is 1, so she gets 1 free Hunter's Mark due to her class. So here we have hers, which has already been fleshed out a little bit longer. She was born in a village outside of town to a tanner and a huntsman. However, when she was only 3 years old, her parents died in a terrible accident, and she was taken in by her uncle and raised in the woods. He taught her to use a bow and a sword and helped her connect with the cycle of nature. She became enamored with the animals and the fauna, spending much of her time training squirrels and making circlets of flowers. It was while she was out collecting boughs one day that she smelled smoke in the distance. A wildfire was spreading through the forest, so she returned to her uncle immediately. Luckily, he'd already heard the news. He was already packing. It seems a nearby battle between some warring nations had set ablaze to the woods. They escaped into the city, but the fire raged for days and destroyed more than half of the forest, including their original home. No one knew who had started it, and both sides blamed each other for years. So as she gets into her teen years, they're kind of struggling to survive in the slums, and she started by selling flowers. But while she worked, she would also sing. Her voice caught the attention of a wealthy noble who asked her to sing at one of his parties. She agreed, and when he cleaned her up, she proved to be quite the hidden beauty. After her success at the party, he brought her to court, where she entranced even the queen herself. She became a regular singer and continued to grow more lovely. It was at court that she met Rahjeet, a halfling bard. He was charming and funny, and she soon became enraptured by his company. They started to perform together, often with him providing musical accompaniment for her voice. They also did comedy routines that mocked other members of court, a performance that the king himself particularly enjoyed. However, A visiting noble did not take kindly to being made to look the fool. In a fit of rage, he kidnapped her in the night and took her to his ship so she could be punished. Jesseeka distracted him for a time with, overwhelming apologies and flattery, hoping to get back in his good graces. But just as he started to see through her wiles and realized that she was stalling and trying to escape, Rahjeet and a city guard burst in to rescue her. The three of them fought their way off the ship, and as soon as they reached the pier, the king appeared and banished the noble from their shores. As an apology for the kidnapping and the captivity, the king offered Jesseeka a boon. After only a short period of thought, she said she would like her ruined forest to be restored and for her to be named its protector. The sovereign granted her request, instituting new policies that would prevent damage to the forest in the future and grant benefits to anybody who actively helped it heal, like planting new trees and things like that. Jesseeka and Rahjeet were married, and they returned to rebuild her childhood home in the forest so that they could defend the woods together. So we see hers a little bit more fleshed out, only for 6 paragraphs. 6 short paragraphs, but still lots of detail. You've got this noble who doesn't take too kindly to her, so he could be a long-term enemy. The king and the queen are definitely a patron of hers. She's got a goal trying to repair her home, and she loves Roger very deeply for rescuing her, from a relationship that they already had going on. So back to Rahjeet. We're going to try and expand this out a little bit. Okay, so this will be the first paragraph. And there's our second paragraph, which is when his father's secret was revealed. Then he meets Jesseeka, which we'll kind of copy-paste a little bit of Jesseeka's story because that's very similar, but told from his point of view. Then about how he gained the king's attention. And then when he heard Jesseeka had been kidnapped. And then after they rescued her, and Rahjeet and Jesseeka were married. Okay. So Rahjeet was the son of a popular cleric known for her sense of humor. His father, however, was considered a foppish fool. And layabouts who would vanish for days on end and return after seemingly been simply lost in the woods. In truth, his father was secretly an assassin for the king and used his fool persona as cover for any secret missions. Rahjeet learned his entertainment skills from his parents, enjoying jokes, puns, and humorous stories most of all. These characters, hi Mook. These characters they could be for me, but I put them out on my website or on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for anybody to instigate into their games. I'm going to give you a stat block. I'm going to give you their image and even their backstory and even a couple of adventure hooks that might help you incorporate them into your mission, into your game. I've had some people tell me that they They use my NPCs of the week literally every single week, and some of them have become permanent NPCs in their campaigns. Training to be a bard. Rahjeet. Attended an academy near the ocean. Thanks, Mook. I appreciate it. That's fantastic. I'd love to hear more stories about how you guys incorporate better backstories into your games. After decades of honing his craft, he invited his parents to attend his graduation before they would return home. Aw, thanks, Mook. Along the way, their caravan was attacked by wild animals. And his father sprung into action to defend his family. Both Rahjeet and his mother were shocked by this. Shocked to see him expertly wielding a blade. And quickly dispatching the violent creatures. Secret revealed, they discussed moving into the city to be closer to the king and to entertain as a family troop. The Luckfoot were a great success at court for many years. Till Rahjeet's father was lost during battle near the forest. See, there's a connection. His mother resigned herself to an abbey, while Rahjeet continued to entertain at court alone. Shortly thereafter, a beautiful red-headed human came to court as a singer, and her voice was unlike anything he had ever heard. Using his wit and charm to get into her good graces, well, let me see, how do I want to phrase this? Let's go back to Jesseeka real quick. Make sure I know how I want to phrase this. He was charming and funny, and she came enraptured with his company. They began to perform together. He used his wit and charm to spend time with her, and recommended they form a partnership as musicians and comedians. Together, they proved a powerful team, with him accompanying her while she sang, and her playing straight woman to his comedic performances. Rahjeet was greatly favored by the king's personal attendant. With his help, he got top billing. He got even gained the king's ear as he suggested new forms of entertainment for the masses. It was this attendant who came to Rahjeet one day with bad news. It seemed that Jesseeka had been kidnapped. Rahjeet jumped into action, following clues of her series. Clues that led him to the docks. He happened upon the aid of Edison, a city guard, who had seen a noble, a foreigner, taking Jesseeka into his ship. Together they snuck aboard and rescued her, and together they all fought their way out. Just as they reached pier, the king and his attendant, the king arrived to dismiss the noble and banish him and his crew from the land. Never wanting to be apart from his beloved, Rahjeet asked Jesseeka to marry him. She agreed, and together they returned to her childhood, her ruined childhood home, to rebuild and protect the burned forest nearby. Okay, I know that took a while. Hey Matt, how you doing? Oh my, show up on the screen now. Yeah, I made that little change to put everybody's text on the screen for a little while. Is it there permanently? Nope. Okay, make sure it's not there the whole time. So I was just working up the rest of Rahjeet's backstory here. We're doing Rahjeet Luckfoot and Jesseeka Leverett, also known as Jesseeka Leverett and Rahjeet Luckfoot. You might look familiar. I'm pretty good. You know, just hanging out, doing better backstories, and NPC of the week. And tomorrow I'm going to be spending time with my girl, so I'm happy. All right, so as we know, one of the first things we need to do is we need to create an NPC. We need to create an NPC stat block based on the characters. So let's get up to the top of Jesseeka's character sheet. Let's get our stat block generator. For those who don't know, this is available at tetra-cube.com/dnd/dnd-statblock-html. The great thing about this stat block generator, not only does it do all the math for you, but it remembers the last character that you created, which last week was Milnast Coppergear. So it's got cookies enabled, and that's really nice. So we can just plug in Jesseeka here if I can get her character sheet to fit with. Okay. So we can start with a preset. See if there is just a ranger. No. So let's see who would have a bow. Let's kind of scroll through here and see what kind of options we got. We could just build her from scratch, but I prefer if there's like stuff already put together to help out. Assassin maybe. Is there over there? Was there archer? No, no archer. Dang. Maybe a bandit. Scimitar and light crossbow. Nope, not enough. Bearded devil. Wormling. Cultist. Eh. Be nice if there was something simple like an archer. Nope. No elf ranger. Good idea. The presets are I mean, they're mostly monster presets because it's a monster stat block. So, you know, of course. Ooh, what's Gladiator got? Ooh, Brave, Brute, multi-attack. No, that's... Don't like it. Not what we're looking for. No. I may just have to build it from scratch. Mimic. Octopus. Yeah, no elf at all. No, priest is what I was aiming for. Priest. Now the reason I go priest is just because of the spellcasting, but this guy is a 5th level spellcaster. That's a bit much. Was there a... No, cleric isn't what I need. Rat, raven, reef shark, rug of smothering, satyr, skeleton, swarms, thug. What's thug got? Multi-attack, heavy crossbow, pack tactics. Nope. Doesn't quite fit. Yep. Oh, there's a whole nother section. Oh, these are new. Sweet. Elvish Veteran Archer. Bam! That will do, pig. Okay. So, we'll start with the Elven Veteran Archer. We will change the name. Jesseeka Leveray. Yeah, you're pretty close. She is medium size. She is a humanoid. Tag is she is a human. And she is chaotic neutral. Pretty sure that's what I made her. Just make sure I'll double check. Yep, chaotic neutral. Okay. So, yes, I know she's only level 3 on this character sheet, but let's give her 10 hit dice. Let's give her studded leather armor. We got her speed. Burrow, climb, don't worry about those. Strength is a little bit below average. Dexterity is pretty good. Con is 11. Intelligence is 14. Wisdom is 13. Charisma is her high stat. That's where it all is. So she's proficient in strength and dexterity saving throws. She's got... Ooh, I have not finished her character sheet here. So she gets acrobatics and performance from being an entertainer. Being a fey wanderer, she gets cunning will. Choose one from deception, performance, or persuasion. Well, she already has performance. Let's go with persuasion. Okay, and what else? Choose 3 from animal handling. Yeah, we'll take animal handling because she likes animals. Athletics, insight, investigation, insight. Yeah, I like that. Nature, perception, strength. I go with nature because she's into nature, or do I go with perception, stealth, or survive? No, I'm going to go with nature. I'm going to go with her background on this one, rather than trying to do something tactical. So, okay. Where were we? Let's clear these out. So nature, yes, no, no, no. So acrobatics, she's in there. Animal handling, got it. Insight, got it. Nature is there already. Performance. And persuasion. She's very persuasive. Condition immunities. She has advantage on saves to be charmed or frightened. Let's just say she can't be charmed. Make it simple. Acid damage. No, she doesn't have any immunities. Languages. She speaks Common and Elvish. She doesn't have Dark Vision. Her challenge rating, I'm going to say it's probably going to be a 2. But we'll check on that later. Alright. Nope. So she's a Fey Wanderer. So she has some benefits of being Fey, even though she's a human. So as a bonus action, she can imbue weapons she's holding with magic until the end of her turn ends. Okay, so let's edit this one. We'll call it Dreadful Strikes. This. Cunning Will. Alright, we'll leave that as that. Add ability. And last we need her spellcasting. Wisdom. Her spellcasting ability is Wisdom. Following 4 spells prepared. Of course she has Charm Person. Okay, take out the multi-attack, move up the short bow, or the long bow, keep the short sword. And take out the volley. Alright. Looks pretty good. Let's update. I'm gonna have to go with 1 column because it's being stupid. Alright. Boom, boom. Let's confirm our challenge rating. So let's go into our CR tools. Hit reset. Get this all calculated. Alright. Her hit point, well, let's see. Her hit dice are 10. Hit points are 45. Good. Armor class is 14. Damage per round. She does 8 damage per round. Her attack bonus is, well, she's got a save DC for spellcasting, so that's 11. She does use saves. Size is medium, constitution it's 11. No vulnerabilities. She does have 1 immunity. Save proficiencies are up to 4. She does not fly. And we don't have any of these bonuses here. So, calculates her overall challenge rating is 2. So, boom, good call. Got it right on the first try. Sorry about that. Boop, boop. Alright, so that's done. And let's save. Alright, now we will move on to Rahjeet. So, as a bard, something tells me we're not going to have a bard in here. But let's check first, because we got lucky last time. Maybe there's an entertainer. No, not the bottom half. Let's check the originals. Acolyte Assassin. Alright, so I'm not even going to dig. I'm just going to start from here and build him using her as a base, which everything will change anyway. he is chaotic good. Hit dice, little lower. Regular leather. Strength is a little bit above average. Dexterity is fantastic. Constitution is really good. Intelligence is his shortfall. Wisdom and charisma is decent. Okay. So his saves are dexterity and charisma. Skills. Acrobatics, animal handling. Take out insight. Take out nature. Leave performance, leave persuasion. Okay, so we've got acrobatics, animal handling, investigation, performance, persuasion, sleight of hand, survival. And we will say he is immune to being frightened. This normally he has advantage on saves versus being frightened. We'll just say he's immune. Keep it simple. He doesn't have any damage resistances. He speaks common and halfling. And again, I think his challenge rating is probably going to come out around a 2. Alright, let's start with his weapons. So he just has daggers and his club, which is actually his loot. So this we can do with these basic items. So dagger. Oh, gotta go down to the weapons. There we go. Dagger based on dex. And we'll do another one, but we'll call this one the offhand dagger. Assuming he fights with both hands. Take out the dex mod there and see if that works. Let me see how that... I'm just testing this. I want to see how it looks. Yep, that works. And then we'll add a club, which we will reskin as loot. Melee weapon attack. Boom, boom, boom. Bludgeoning. Action. Okay, let's take out all this stuff except the spell casting, because he also has spells, so we will leave that on there and check it out. Let's start with his spells. He's got many more spells than she does. So let's open this up. Spellcasting. Rahjeet is a level. It's a second level spellcaster. His spellcasting ability is charisma. Spell save DC is Ka save, Ka attack, hit with spell attacks. Cheat has the following: 6 spells prepared. This is cantrip. At will. Underscore. Minor. Illusion. Prestidigitation. Okay, he's got 4 first level spell slots. Also has Charm Person, of course. Disguise Self. Healing Word. heroism, and Tasha's hideous laughter. Because he can make people laugh themselves to death. He only has one second level spell, which is Gift of the Gab. Which is a fun spell because basically he can use it to undo a verbal faux pas. You know, if he says or does something and thinks people will take it poorly, he can just be like, magical spell, I didn't say that. So it's a nice undo feature. Let's add to his ability. Boom. So let's look at his other abilities. See what else we want to give him. So we got weapons, we got spellcasting. He can play the bagpipes, a lute and a horn. Bardic Inspiration. Let's give him Bardic Inspiration. See if it's already in here. Nope, don't see it. Keen sight and smell. Leadership. For 1 minute, you can issue special command to non-hostile creatures within. Not really. As a bonus action, Rahjeet can give a creature within 60 feet that can hear him an inspiration die. One D6. To be used to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw within over the next 10 minutes. The die can be rolled after seeing the d20 roll, but must be before knowing it must be used before knowing the outcome. This ability 3 times per long rest or short rest? Long rest. Okay, I think between the spellcasting and the Bardic Inspiration, that should be pretty dope. Okay. Wait, why does he have extra hit points? I lowered his hit points, and somehow it went higher than Jesseeka's. Where is he getting a plus 20 to his hit points? Doesn't he have a high con? Well, yeah, but just a plus 2. It's giving him a plus 20. See? You're giving him 10 dice, not d10s. No, I know, but all I did... She had 10 here, and all I did was lower that to 1. Hold on, I can't bring hers back up. Let me find it. Here's hers. See, it just says 10d8. Boom, flat. It's got to be his. It's got to be his Constitution. Let me take this down and see what happens. Yep. Yep. His higher Constitution. They're granting an extra 10 hit points per 1 Constitution point. That's because it's per each die. Okay. Never mind. Duh. Of course it would be per each die. That makes perfect sense. It just threw me off. I was like, wow, there was such a dramatic difference for a second. Okay, so let's take his hit dice down to 8. Just so he's a little higher hit points than her, but not like ridiculous. And he's got about the same. Yeah, they got the same armor class. So that'll work. Okay. Rahjeet is a 2nd level spellcaster. Spellcasting ability is Charisma, DC 12 with a +4. Has the following 6 spells. Oh, missed a parenthesis. Boop. This is why I like to review. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Let me change cantrip to cantrips, because that's going to drive me nuts. Cantrips. Hey Lisa, how you doing? Shark's going to get you. Minor illusion, prestidigitation, charm person, disguise self, healing word, heroism, Tasha's hideous laughter, spelled it right, gift of the gab. As a bonus action, Rahjeet can give a creature within 60 feet that can hear him an inspiration die 1d6. Dagger, offhand dagger, loot. Okay. View image. Rahjeet. Stat block. Nice, shark. Okay, let's calculate Rahjeet's CR. So he's got higher constitution, so that will affect his hit points. So again, 52. His damage per round due to his daggers. He doesn't have any other attack. Well, Tasha's hideous laughter has a damage, but he can't do that every round, so that doesn't count. So his damage per round is pretty low. It's only 5. 5. Save is 12. Hit dice, we got that, we got that. He does have an immunity to fear. His saves are higher. Okay. This says his challenge rating is 3. Wow. Okay. I'm hesitant to increase his challenge rating. Just I'd like them to match. And yeah. So I'm going to keep that at 2. All right. There they are, Lisa, if you're still there. Rahjeet Luckfoot and Jesseeka Leverett, which is like Old English or something for rabbit. Okay, so now I'm not going to be able to finish this on the stream tonight, but I want to do just a couple more things. We're going to start off, go into Photoshop. I need to cut them out. So we're gonna cut them out so that they will be on the background of the parchment paper. So first we hit it with our magic wand to hit all the white, but as we get closer, we can see that there's some areas that didn't get selected because they are trapped. Luckily, plus we can select plus these little holes. Even here, between the shadow and her legs and her boot. And here. Make sure her hair doesn't have any orphans. Finger, oh, there. And then, of course, Blaz's name needs a little cutout itself. Alright, so we're going to zoom back out. Now, what we want to do is we want to isolate them from the background. Well, right now, I have actually selected the background itself. So we don't want to cut the background. We want, well, could I? No, that doesn't work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse the selection. So now, instead of selecting all the white, it's selecting everything other than the white, which is them. But it's a little tight. So I'm going to modify and expand by 1 pixel. So it just moves everything out just a smidge. And then I'm going to make a copy and paste right on top. So now, you see, look over here, you see we have 2 layers. We have the layer of them with the white background, and we have another image of them on top of that. You can't tell because they're right on top of each other and they're identical. But if we turn off the background, we see that the background is now invisible. We save this as a PNG. Quick export. And then we will be able to import it. Okay, so minimize that. Now we'll bring up our NPC of the week. So first I'm going to place their stat blocks and then I will place them. No, I'll place them first. No harm, no foul. So I'm thinking I want to put them over on this corner. And I want to put the stat blocks right next to him. Or, even better, let's put this stat block in the corner. Let's put them right in between. I'm probably going to go with this. And I will extend this bottom bit down. See, I'm running. It's starting to get to me. This is the design process. It's like, if I have text here, if I have his backstory here, I'm thinking of maybe combining their backstories into a single backstory where it kind of talks about her and then meeting him, and then he was this. I don't know. I'm on the fence about how to present the two of them in a single location. But it's getting late, and I don't want to beleaguer this. I will have to work on it offline. Sorry that you guys won't get to see the finished product, but you can see where we were going. And you got to see the building of Rahjeet's background, the finishing of his background, the building of the stat blocks, and the placement on the parchment. Maybe if I stick them here, and then I vertically stack their blocks like this. Well, see, no, that still looks funny. Looks funny to me. So instead, let's do this. We can take this down a little. We'll shrink them up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, I'm already liking this better. So this way. So now I'll put their story here. I will blend their backstories together into a single paragraph because they're a power couple. They go together. You know, it's going to be the two of them as a pair. So we'll get the kind of combined backstory of the two of them, and then we will have adventure hooks based on both of them. Probably something where Rahjeet is accused of a crime, and Jesseeka seeks the party's help in proving him innocent. And also maybe something where Jesseeka is being blackmailed. And then we've also got other elements in their backstory. You know, we've got his father, we've got her, we've got the noble. Maybe we'll have 4 adventure hooks, 2 each, and that'll make it a little bit smoother. Okay, but that does it for NPC of the week tonight. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Once again, Better Backstories is available at www.betterbackstories.com. NPC of the Week comes out every week and is available on Better Backstories Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram feeds. And very soon, possibly, we will be putting them up on the website as well. It's just a work in progress. Thank you again. Take care. Check me out. Hit me a follow. I work out just about every day. Playing Wii Fit and Ring Fit Adventure. I also play other open world games. Like I just started playing the Outer Worlds, and I also play Far Cry 5. I play Black Flag. I play various things, and even started playing Starbound again, which I love. Starbound I can get sucked into Starbound for hours. So give me a follow, give me a like, let me know what you think. I'm Jay. Take care, and Happy New Year.